All right, what's up, fam? Another episode on the Ragsdale's channel. Y'all hit that subscribe, that like, share this content. This is my Make It Make Sense. Y'all know when I get these urges and I see these news reports, I gotta come talk about it. And I am HG Ragsdale Sr. On the panel tonight is just me, and thus far is Harold could fly down to D-Town. That's HG Jr. But y'all know what? I'm gonna go back like 20 years ago. I told a black woman about how not to raise her son, and I stated this, and it really was the demise of our friendship because she did not like the truth. But I said there are scriptures that said that it'd be father against son, mother against daughter. In other words, the issues were gonna be in the family. And we have issues going on right now where today's black mothers are too intimate with their sons. And that is an issue. Young black men, you don't worry about who your mama doing and what she doing. This is an issue in the black home. And y'all want to know why? Because there's no black man there. There's no black man there. Now, this story, y'all just make it make sense to me. And let me let y'all get my cameraman. Y'all, my cameraman, she got what we call camera lady. I know you a lady. Hush. She talking about camera lady. Got to be heard, but y'all can't hear these farts she letting out. Hey, y'all, check this out. What I'm talking about today, and I hope everybody doing fine. But y'all, I hope I hit somebody with a rock today. Because I love when God gives me something and then he confirms it. This is confirmation of a baby goes to daycare. An adult goes to prison. That is not your baby. And when they go to prison, they get the worst spirits implemented in them. When they come out, they not better, they worse. And then you turn around, that's my baby, I got to give them a place to stay. Y'all check this story out. Thank you. Please, somebody hit the like.
Jenkins remains in jail tonight with no bond, charged with murdering his mother and 15-year-old brother. Police say the mother, identified as Dana Jenkins, and the juvenile were found inside a home on Snowden Drive Monday.
Yeah, CBS 17's Baron James joins us live outside that home tonight. Baron, you've learned Jenkins was on parole after being released from prison just last week.
Yeah, Angela and Liz. In fact, 1 week ago today, his family tells me he got out of prison and came here to this house, this duplex, his mom's home, apartment A, where police found the suspect as well as the bodies of his mother and little brother.
He knew they was coming to get him.
Wilson police arrested and charged 25-year-old Deron Dante Jenkins with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his mom, 50-year-old Dana Vanessa Jenkins, and his little brother, a 15-year-old. Their cousin, who also lives next door, Wanilla Carnegie, told me she dreaded this day would come.
I'm hurt because I knew he was going to do something. You can just see he was so fidgetive. He was so anxious. He could not stay still. He had that sneakiness about him. You know what I mean? Like a crazy person trying to get ready to do something, like premeditation.
Police took Deron Jenkins into custody here at his mom's duplex apartment on Snowden Drive Monday afternoon after officers found the 2 bodies inside. His cousin says they had been stabbed to death sometime between 8:30 Sunday night, shortly after she says she last saw them alive, and 3 o'clock Monday morning, a couple hours before she saw the suspect standing on the front porch.
He's looking like he just got out of a mental ward, or he's getting ready to do something, or he have done something, because the look on his face told me that he done something, because his hand was cut all up, you know. And
Deron's hand.
Yeah, he had the bandage on his hand.
Carnegie also says she became concerned about her loved ones because of the way the cousins' cars were parked.
I looked over to the side and I was like, why is her car turned this way? She never parks this.
So that was the first indication you thought something's not right.
I did.
This all happened 6 days, Carnegie told me, after Deron Jenkins got out of prison.
He's just getting out of prison.
And that was connected to his attacking his mom?
Yeah, for beating his mama. She was a very sweet person. Anything she can do for you, she'll do it.
And that spirit of generosity, of giving, her cousin said, that actually spilled over to not only everybody else, but especially her 3 children, her teenage son, a daughter, and now her other son, who's charged with killing his mother and his little brother. Right now, Deron Jenkins is locked up in the Wilson County Jail. No bond is set. We're live in Wilson. Baron James, CBS 17 News.
Struggling with complicated content.
Ain't none of this funny. Y'all just make it make sense. What we just heard and what we just witnessed didn't just start. See, this starts, all of this kind of behavior. Look, mothers have 2 intimate type of relationships with their sons. If y'all was listening, his charges, he was stealing, breaking into cars, and he had also jumped on his mama. He had been fighting his mama. Now, you can look at her and tell she thought she was the bomb. She was a thick-witted, big woman. She had her nails done, her cleavage and breast showing. She thought she was hot stuff. Maybe she was hot stuff to her son. Now, check it out. He's a little skinny dude. She probably beat him up and whooped on him before he went to prison. But when he got out, he showed her that she wasn't that bad. Because he came out with some demons in him, as the young people say, on demon time. But that's my baby. I'ma always stick with my baby. Let me tell you something. In Charles Ragsdale's household, my daddy's house, if I went to prison, I spent my last night in his home. I couldn't have came back. I wouldn't have had access to my mama. I don't know where you're going, but you're not coming here, boy. No, he wouldn't have called me a man. He'd have called me a boy, because a man gonna avoid penitentiary time. Let me hurt some feelings, because see, we living in a time now where these women think they know everything. Why you that freaking intimate with your son where he'll have access to unalive you and your other son, your 15-year-old? Yo, check it out. Y'all heard her sister said, I saw it. You know what? That's like, I know somebody can relate to this. And the people, if I hit you, just say ouch, or get your own channel and combat me like that. But this is the Ragsdale channel. So we're free. This is my place to speak freely of what thus says the Lord gives me. I don't want no repercussions from nobody on it. Check it out. That's just like you tell your daughter, don't mess with that dude. He ain't no good. She keep fooling with him because she's intimate with that dude. She can't see that he ain't worth a nickel and a quarter. Everybody else can see that dude ain't right, but she's ignoring the warnings. All she's thinking about is he make me feel so good. His dick is so long. Yeah, I said it. So she stay right there in that bad relationship. Now, no parent should have that kind of intimate relationship with their child. If something has came out of you and you can't see that they rotten, you're not looking at reality. Make that make sense to me, please. Make that make sense to me. And you know what? I wasn't there, but I promise you, some dude in that neighborhood, some teacher, someone tried to check that boy somewhere in life. And he always called his mama to pull him out of trouble. When he started getting caught stealing, it was his mama that paid his bail to get him out. And it was his mama that he unalived.
Okay.
Let's hear from
let me
her.
let me
Go
put
ahead and
yeah,
come
let me
back
put my
there.
2 cents in. Okay,
Yeah.
so like we say, 2025 is the year of accountability, and as much as the mother probably messed up, and also as a man, you know, you gotta take responsibility. We can speculate all we want. The facts that we know, the father he wasn't even mentioned in that, so he's probably not in the picture. Now, I don't know what happened, like maybe it was a tragic situation where, like, you know, he left the earth too soon or something like that. We don't know, all that is speculation. But like, to put it on her, I feel like that's kind of they call that these days, you might not know the term, but these days they call that victim blaming. And like, I mean,
Okay.
and hold on, okay, yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna tear
okay,
your butt up. You know it. Come on.
okay, hold on,
Come on.
hold
I'm
on,
tired of this.
hold
Come on.
on, hold
Come
on, hold
on.
on, hold on,
Keep
hold
moving.
on. Okay,
Keep
so
moving.
look, the victim blame, that's one thing. That's a completely different story. But um, I don't think like her showing care and like caring about her son and like, oh, she took care of him when he got out and stuff. That's a whole different situation. I don't think that she should be blamed for caring and loving her son. But he had things going on outside of those legal struggles, the the opposition with the law and all that. There are other things
We
that
don't
are
know
a
that.
red flag. There are other things that were red flags, like the other woman said that he was acting like, hold on, Levi, he was acting fidgety. He was acting like someone fresh out the ward or anything like that. You know, he was showing red flags before that. Those type of things have to be checked before you open up yourself to a person, even if it is family. You gotta check those kind of things first. And it seemed like there was a lot of red flags that should have been checked. Her
I wish
her
you.
love is not the issue. It's more of like her delusion and unawareness of lack of awareness. For unawareness is not a word. That's something that Michael would have said. Lack of awareness for his mental state. Even in his mugshot, he looked like he had no remorse.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is,
Let me say something. Okay. I hear you. Let me say something. Now, with the exact same thing you said, victim shaming. Why is it that an absent father gotta take the blame for a child's behavior when he wasn't even there?
because it's accountability. We don't know. We don't know
You
what
saying
it
the
was.
woman
We
shouldn't
don't.
be accountable? So you
Everybody should be
saying that a
accountable
woman
because
shouldn't be accountable?
that boy was put on this earth behind, I mean, without his will. He didn't make that choice to come up. It takes two to
Hey,
tango,
tell
and
Raven to
they're
get up out
both
of
in
this
a
deal. Don't talk over the phone. Get on the line.
she's on the road. She's on the road right now. I would have told her yeah, she's listening.
So, what I'm talking about is dead is dead.
Hmm.
And if you was listening to what I said instead of critiquing what I said, you'd have heard me say there was no man in this situation. Because, buddy, you never went to prison under my household.
Right, and that's the thing that I'm saying.
Okay. Again, that it
No,
wasn't no man
give me
in
that.
it. It wasn't no man in it. Okay. Now,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying though.
we can say what we want to say, but this is a woman that's unalive, and the 15-year-old is unalive. First of all, he just got out of penitentiary. He shouldn't have been in that house anyway. And
Outside,
if you was listening, you'd have heard that one of his charges for going to prison was beating up his mama.
in that case, then yes, you should not.
And what you
That's
talking about then? Did you listen?
yeah. No, I'm listening, but in that case, I'm saying his mental needs to be checked. If she knows that he has a history of this, then it can only escalate from there. I don't know because I wasn't there, But even that woman said that he seemed fidgety. He seemed like he had just got out the psych ward, and not he just got out what do we call that? Sticky socks. What is it called? Grippy socks. Yeah, he looked like he had just taken off his grippy socks. Yeah, he just left the grippy sock sanctuary. So it's like, yeah, in that case, yeah, he probably shouldn't have opened herself up to him. But I feel like the narrative that like, oh, mothers are too intimate with their sons, like, yes, that does apply in a lot of cases, but also it's not every case. That's like the women that say, oh, all men are bad, all that. Like, no, some are, a lot are, but that's not all of them. Like, that narrative is a very damaging.
What you saying sounds good, but it's not the real life. Because right now we have a deceased mother, a 15-year-old that's deceased. That mother made a conscious decision with letting her baby back home. Now, if she wasn't that intimate and caught up in what God blessed her with, if she'd have got out of herself and realized this is no longer a baby, he's learned some things that I know nothing about. He's been to prison. He's went through some things that we don't know what he done went through. He probably been violated. And then he done beat me up, and I'm the reason why he went there. So I really don't know where he's coming from.
That's all very valid.
Instead of me getting in my feelings, I'm going to look at the facts.
He was going to get out of jail and then be out on the street.
You can unalive someone else.
A person don't just go to jail. A person has to do something. They have to work hard to go to prison. Then I'll let you hear another part of what this dude did. His crime sprees were long. He had done a lot of stuff before he went to prison.
Right, yeah, his situation, all of that applies. All of that applies to his situation.
And hey, the father's still alive. They didn't say he was unalive. They said the mother and the 15-year-old is unalive.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, hypothetically speaking, we don't know where he is.
And again, as a father, as a man, in a nation where more dudes have wishbones and the women have backbones, I don't expect for too many of these cats to hear me. But it needs to be heard.
Right, and this situation.
Because, hey, if anybody disagrees with me, it's a mama's boy.
You should have gone.
It's a no. She need to shut up. She ain't on the deal. It's a mama's boy, or either a woman that's going through that exact thing, or a woman that ain't never birthed a baby out of her VJ. So see, first of all, I can't listen to a person that ain't even did 50 years in life. Okay, I'm speaking through experience of living. You did? And see, what I've learned is the internet gives a lot of people bravery. Because if that young lady was in my face, she wouldn't say nothing. Because Miss
we gotta invite her. We gotta invite her.
No, I'm just saying. So see, that's why I'm saying, hold your mouth, watch what you're saying. Again, this is the Ragsdale channel.
Yeah, I don't play games like this.
So, but that definitive statement, the statements that you're making, like they're encapsulating all of, like, oh, they're too intimate with their children. Like, it's like some people, like, for example, let's put this example out there. I have
a dead person. Why are you putting examples on someone that was murdered?
Because I'm trying to let you know why the discourse
Can you let me
has
know
to be.
anything? Does it change it?
Well, I can't if you don't let me say it.
I'm going off of what I think. I'm going off of what happened.
Right, exactly. But you know what happened in this one situation. You're making definitive statements as if it's all the situations. And for example, I have worn grippy socks before. I have worn grippy socks for sickle cell and mental health wellness. I've been in both each time grippy socks. Does that mean that okay, what's a tragic thing that happened with someone with mental issues? I'm sure that there's somebody in the world like a serial unaliver, you know, like a Ted Bundy or something, you know, that has went on sprees and like just completely tripped out. Does that mean that me having worn grippy socks? Oh no, you can't. You got to look at him different. No. If that was the case, then we're excusing racism because there's a whole lot of Black Americans that yada yada yada. It's like, oh, okay, no, don't let them. The black man that stole from work. Oh, don't employ no black men because they're gonna steal. No, like. You're making more defense. I don't disagree with what you're saying. In this situation, that definitely applies 110%. Because if she hadn't opened herself up to someone that's already showing red flags that they are not to be trusted, you've already fought this young man.
It's self-evident that whatever he went through in life, I probably went through that same thing at that age. But it's the way you go through. It's not what you go through. It's how you go through it and who you go through it with. Somebody get that in a moment. Most of these wishbone boys don't even believe in God. They question everything in God and wonder why they setting up in the crazy house. They want to act like devils and get godly results.
See if
don't happen like that. Hey, where I come from, a man is a man, and a woman is a woman. Those boundaries don't get crossed. When you up under my roof, you gonna do as I say, or either you gone. Once you're gone, there is no coming back.
So what does that have to do with this situation?
When he went to prison, if you listen to the charges, the stealing, the beating up his mom that put him in prison, he should have never been given access to stab in his mama. No
right,
more.
Yeah. Completely agree. 120% agree. Yes.
Okay, what you saying then?
Because you're making it seem like all situations are. No, this is what I was hearing. This is what I was hearing. I was hearing that.
Okay, but didn't he say he wore slicky socks or something? Yeah. So he might not be hearing me right.
This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that if a child or not child, what I'm hearing is if your child, and child can be, you know, you could be 20. I'll say for me, for example, I'll use myself, for example, because I've actually been to prison. So if a 28-year-old goes to prison and he gets out and he's got nowhere to go, and his charges aren't even that man's charges. His charges are completely different. I'll say my charge, evading arrest in a vehicle. That's what I went to. That's what my biggest felony was. I have other charges, but I have no violent charges. If I go there, then I shouldn't be. There should that type of forgiveness and kindness should not be shown to me. And I'm using that as a hypothetical example. That's not me like, oh, I'm in my feelings and like, no, I'm speaking for any other non-violent offender that's not crazy, not showing the red flags that this young man did, not showing those red flags, but the statements that you made make it seem like if they go to prison, if they did something to go to prison, then no, that's enough right there to completely cut them off. That's what it sounded like. I'm not saying that's what you said, but that's what it sounded like.
Well, I'm a forthright person. Maybe you used to being around a bunch of tiptoe people, but I come from forthright. Here, I'm not even going to start with penitentiary. I'm going to start when the first time I said, take your butt to school and make good grades. When he dropped out, he just left my house. My Bible states obedience is better than sacrifice.
Wait, what are you talking about? You're speaking hypothetically?
I'm using examples like you are.
Okay, hypothetical. Okay, yeah, hypothetical. Okay, yeah.
What I'm saying is, as a 54-year-old man, I have the right to have my opinion just like you do.
Right. Okay. Yeah, in that situation.
Let me speak then.
Right.
What I'm saying is, it started way before any penitentiary. Don't nothing just start.
I agree. I agree.
Start real young. When your son is back there throwing tantrums, it's like that. I cut that out. I stopped that. The way you stop, from a man's perspective, the way you stop something is never let it get started. You can't miss something you've never got to do. See, I never talked back to my dad. You know why? Because I never was allowed to. And I took care of my daddy until he died. I was never allowed to. But my mother, and mute even, because I'm talking right now. And check it out. Another thing. A lot of stuff my father did that I didn't like. I remember he did something. I told my mama, I said, no man will put their hands on me or do this and that to me. I will shoot him first. My mother hauled off and busted me in my face, in my mouth, busted my lips, and said, don't you ever talk bad about your daddy. I don't care what you think. That's your dad. Now, these old, weak, sorry women of today, just because the daddy don't get along with them, he was good enough to make babies with and all that, but he ain't with them no more, so they got to try to make him out of the biggest monster, just because he wasn't fully matured. But what I'm saying is, a mature man won't even do things to get himself in prison. At the age of 28, I was a homeowner. I was feeding you and 3 other kids.
Also, homes went for like homes went for like 25 cents back then.
And let me tell you something. None of my kids ever had to go to my daddy's or mama's house for shelter. Never. When they was under my care, they was under my care. So until you can step into my shoes, got love for you, but we just can't see things the same because you ain't walked my path. I was raised by Charles Ragsdale. A man is a man through the good, through the bad, through the tough, through the rough. He still got to be a man. It depends on where your faith is. I don't have pity parties and say, oh, I ain't gonna make. No, I buried my mother. I was still a teenager. I said, to God be the glory. And that was tough. I done buried my daddy. That was tough. But to God be the glory. They didn't make me, so they can't break me. I don't care what I go through. I'm going to shoot life the middle finger and say, I'm more than a conqueror through Christ Jesus, who gives me strength. So what I'm saying is, that boy should have never been in that home.
Yes, I agree.
That boy walked in that house and he became the head of that house. And when he was challenged on that, violence happened. Me, he wouldn't even never been there. I done went and visit him at the halfway house somewhere. I just, am I throwing him away? No, I'm not throwing him away. I'm respecting his decisions and everything that he chose to do. But as a human being, because I don't do titles, I'm a human being just like everybody else, first and foremost. I'm going to go visit him, might even give him a couple of dollars and pray with him. But you can't come stay in my house because I don't know your mental state. I'm not that intimate with my children. I'm not going to do that. Intimacy is for woman and man. That's it. No, I'm not going to say woman and man. Husband and wife. I'm going to stay biblical. Husband and wife, that's the intimacy. I'm not going to be intimate with my child where they can make all the mistakes and they come back in and unalive me and the children that's up under my care. As a parent, it's not my job to allow it to happen. It's my job to avoid it, to keep it from ever taking place. I'm listening.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
I feel like you are making very subjective statements because they're specific to certain situations. Like your point just now, before you made the last point that you just made, you said, you can't speak on something, not me, but you said that a person can't speak on something they haven't lived through, but there's still statements being made for things that haven't been going through, and what you just said,
right? Okay, right. So you can respect that you're voicing your opinion and I'm voicing my opinion, right? Right?
Yes, but that's not the point I was making. That's not the point I was making.
Hey, the bottom line is we got a bunch of pretty boys with no backbones. We got a bunch of boys that'll sit around, play the remote control, screw our daughters, make babies that they ain't got money to take care of. Please stop me whenever I start lying.
I just said that to my niece today.
And ain't nobody, they picking up their fatherhood before they pick up their manhood. You never go steal until you first learn to go work for it. I'm listening. Now that's a fact. At 54, with no criminal history, I can say that.
Yeah,
and you can Google it because I know you're a Google. Y'all Google everything, you young people. Google that. It's a whole bunch of young black boys. Y'all will get your hair done and wear all these dreads and can't even afford to have a roof over your head. Got kids you can't even house, but you want to have dreads. Look, people can't feed themselves, but then they want to walk in their mama's house, and when she say something they don't like, they want to pick up a knife and unalive her.
You are making a well point, but this conversation keeps on jumping, and I have these conversations with certain people. I won't be specific, but when a conversation can't stay on one topic, they keep on going to another thing, instead of sticking to one topic. I'm going to only address where you're taking me. I'm going to follow the leader.
Hold up, I'm going to say it again. This young man got out of prison a week ago. He ain't paying nobody's bills. He was able to move back in. Something happened wrong in that house. Now, if it was me, he wouldn't even have been there in the first place. I don't trust anyone like that. It's not written that I trust. It's not written that I trust anyone that's criminalistic. I had Look, hold up. You want to be heard? Learn to listen. For real. And a person that can't listen to a person that ain't never been to prison, something wrong. Something wrong with them. I didn't come from a broken home. I created a broken home. So I know from which I came. So I know how to go back to that. And the way you stop that kind of stuff from happening, you don't let the devil back in your house. Because if it wasn't the devil, he'd have never been in prison.
You see, Justin, like
again, I would have went and visited him. Again, if you was listening to the ad, to the news, he went to prison for stealing. He had all these charges. One of the charges was beating up his mama. You don't beat up your mama. Bottom line.
Yes, that is so true.
Hold up. Since I'm a father of the 11, I can say this.
11?
Right? Hey, don't go blame the child. Don't blame the child because parenting was done wrong. Don't blame the child. Don't blame the child because whatever he's doing, he was allowed to do. For real. You got to go back to the head of that house. Whoever's the custodian, as the state says, can I be truthful? This ain't me talking, this is the state. The custodian parent has all say so. So evidently she was the custodian parent. And she let him back in her home. So regardless of what I say or what you say, something was already wrong.
Yes, and you went through, like I counted, you jumped to like 6 different points. I had 1 point to make like 5 minutes ago. I didn't get to finish the sentence. You were talking about the kids getting the dreads and not having a roof over, not being able to provide their own roof over their head. I just want to defend that. I did, huh?
Oh, so you didn't hear the point in me saying before you grow your hair, learn to grow your hair. These things start as little kids. If you start putting the earrings in your ear, eventually it's gonna not be a fad. You're gonna start wearing fingernail polish. Look around, nigga, why you can't see what I'm saying. Eventually you start carrying purses. Eventually you're gonna have a whole bunch of men out here screwing each other in the booty.
Eat it. You got your food right there. Eat it. Yeah.
Necessary conversation, as your Uncle Kurt just said. All I am is, hey, I ain't gonna call myself a throwback dad or a throwback man. I am a man, and I don't repent for that. Again, that woman shouldn't have never let that they were two. Let me tell you something. None of my children would have thought that they could put a knife on me. Pew, pew, pew. They'd have never thought to.
Oh my God, can I make this 1 point? Can I make 1 point? Just 1 point. It is not about the case. It's not about the case.
Time it. Because he talk a lot and he'll try to say I talk a lot. Go ahead. Let's time it. No, for real.
Wait, hold on. Who said that you talk a lot?
You. Didn't he just say it?
Micah said that, not me. Micah said that. I didn't say that.
You just said it.
Yeah.
When? What did I say?
Yes, thank you, Raven. You did say it. That I'm going around the block. I'm waiting on
Raven
you.
didn't say anything. That's only Levi. Levi said something. Levi don't even know what we're talking about. He speaks Spanish.
Well, hey, out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah. Okay. So the 1 point I wanted to make, like 8 minutes ago, was that the kids, they don't have a roof over their head, yada yada yada. But when y'all were kids, houses were going for one paycheck, and the job market is horrible right now. Horrible, and the pay is horrible. Prices are going up. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, finish what you're saying, because I'm trying to see where you're going.
No, if I'm being timed, if I'm being timed.
You accuse me of going around the block on something, and I'm still saying that this was the custodial of this household's fault.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know what you're talking about now.
I'm talking about one of the 30 points that you made. Only one of the points. Only one of the points. Only one of them. Only one of the points.
What he's trying to get to is the reason why kids live in their parents' house today is because the cost of living.
So that means he's supposed to stab his mama?
No.
Okay.
No.
This is what it's about. Hey, make that make sense. That's the name of this show. This boy unalived his mama. Okay. Make it make sense to me, please.
That's right. You're right.
That's what I'm talking about.
It don't make sense.
This ain't about no cost of living. I will make a stab his mama.
Clean it all up, bro.
And his brother. And then he sat there and they said he knew they was coming to get him. He waited. He waited on his parents. Say, y'all make this make sense. I've been on here 41 minutes. Y'all, this don't make sense. Make it make sense to me. And I'm going to stand on it. I don't care who stand against it or whatever. We have a bunch of, I'm going to go ahead and say it. RIP to the cussing preacher, too. That is. Because I understand why he cussed. Because people make you want to cuss. But in the streets, the kind of behavior that this boy did to his mama, we would call that B-S-H-I-T. That would be B-I-T-C-H-S-H-I-T. I would call it H-O-E-S-H-I-T. That's what that is. That kind of behavior is that. You offed your mama. Your mama loved you enough to take you back in after you kept messing up. So if anything, she deserved the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, now just to stick on the same topic, you said that, and right before that, you were saying that it's two custodial parents. That's who the blame should. You can't blame the kid. So which one is it? You kind of went back and forth there. Is it the mama's fault, or is it the kid's fault, or is everybody just needs to be held accountable?
No, he said that you can't blame the kid. You have to blame the custodial parent, the person who raised that kid. That's who you have to blame. He said because there was bad parenting going on. He didn't say whether it was the mama or the dad. He just said the custodial parent.
But the statement that was just made, you said she took you in after all that, and then you go do that. That's 304 stuff. That's female dog stuff. It is.
He's not a kid. He's a grown man.
He wasn't a kid.
That's what you don't understand. Babies go to daycare. They don't go to prison.
He was an adult.
I'm just pointing out the contradictory statements that are being made. That's it.
Anything.
How was that contradicting? Because he said the custodial parent allowed him
to move back in.
But what he did was whole shit. That's what he said. And I'm going to say the words.
Right.
He said what he did to her was whole shit.
Now, show me contradictory in that.
And then before that, you said that we can't put the blame on him because the parenting was flawed.
No.
But he said as a kid, you can't blame kids. He's not a kid. He's a grown man.
Okay. You're saying kids. You didn't say you can't blame. Okay, you're talking about the suspect, the criminal. You're saying, I thought you were saying you can't blame. I thought you were saying you can't blame that guy, the one that did the crime. You can't blame him. You know, there was, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of
his mama besides him. You have to blame him for doing it. You blame her for allowing him to be there.
Okay, let me. Okay. So I'm gonna do this for my people that watch the Ragsdale channel. What's up, Manifest Reality? Let me tell y'all something, and whoever else is watching. Charles Ragsdale had a little nappy head, snotty nose first son named Charles Jr. He got caught stealing when he was up under my daddy's watch. The police in Muskogee, Oklahoma, did not take him to the police station. They brought him to 1205 Lenape, to my daddy's house. And let me tell y'all something. You can't pay that snotty nosed little boy to steal nothing else. The parenting was done while he was a child. While he was a child. Now, let me tell you mother something. Even though that was a juvenile, years later, that junior said that when he was in the military, they brought up what he had done that wasn't even, they stole $5 worth of stuff. It wasn't even supposed to be recorded. But they knew his secret clearance stuff in the military. They knew what he had done. My daddy always told us, as a black man in America, you gotta walk the straight line. Because you ain't gonna get away with nothing. It's easy to get in trouble and almost impossible to get out of it. Now, he straightened out his household right there. We're talking about a 20-something-year-old man that got out of prison. One of his charges was beating up his mama. And now he has unalived her. Make that make sense. Say, y'all hit the subscribe. Y'all hit the like. Share this content. Anybody want to get on here and debate with me? I'm down for it. I'm just saying, hey, respect is what it is. And you might not like respect. You might not feel respected. You might not agree with respect, but respect will take you a long, long way. It'll take you a lot further than shystiness, stealing, being combative. Huh? I want to share something with you young mothers. Your baby is your baby. Remember that. Your baby is your baby. I don't love your baby the way you do. Your baby will get unalived. Y'all better wake up, because the rooster is coming home. Every experience that happened in life, it should teach us a lesson. Either it's going to teach you a lesson or it's going to be a blessing. And it should be both. It should teach you a lesson and it should be a blessing. But in this case, it was a horrible, life-ending lesson because the dead know nothing. He unalived not just his mama, but his 15-year-old brother. And hey, y'all see this? We still make excuses for ignorance. I'm not going to do it. Somebody please make it make sense to me. Y'all deuces. I'm out of here. Be blessed to the next. Y'all know we keep it 100 here.